How to choose the right project. I don't know if you're like me, but I've probably got about 50 different domains for projects that I'd like to start. And at some point, I need to decide which one am I going to pursue. You know, I think that's the biggest challenge as an entrepreneur that has a lot of ideas, a lot of creative juices, is we can start a lot of things, but at some point, you're going to have to pick the right one. And what I want to share with you guys today is 3 strategies that I use to figure out which projects I work. Now, I've been fortunate enough to have built, 2 venture-backed companies, but in the beginning of starting those, I actually had about 2 or 3 other projects that I was doing in parallel, and then I eventually chose the one that became that startup. Recently Clarity, my last company, was acquired, but when I started that, I had Photovino and another app called Secret Sender. And I tell you that, guys, to give you some context, but I totally get what you're going through. If you're currently working on multiple projects, I've been there, and these 3 strategies will really help you pick the right ones. The first one is, what trend is going on in the industry that makes your idea the right one to pursue? Like when I'm thinking of companies I've invested in, as an angel investor, I've invested in about 30 plus companies. And the question I love to ask the founders is, why now? Why that idea now in this market? So think about it for your idea and your project. What is it about the current state of trends? And if you haven't seen Mary Meeker's Internet Trends, she does it every year, so just search Internet Trends Mary Meeker. She gives the data to support the different trends. So you want to kind of figure out what's going on in the market that you can map to, that your project or idea feels like it's going to be an upward trend. Because it doesn't matter, if you're 2008 and starting a social media website, if you follow, or if you kind of rode that trend line, high tides raise all boats, you would have done well. And I was fortunate to start Flowtown in 2008, a social marketing tool, and we got acquired in 2011 because we were part of that trend, that whole thing, the whole market was going up. Your idea, your project in that, and that's the way you want to do it. So why now? What trend? Answer that question. That's step 1 to figuring out which project to filter through. If that one looks good, the second one is, what domain expertise do you have that's unique? What are uniquely qualified? What experience do you have previously that makes you, this is the other question to ask, the right person? Why you? Why should you be the one solving this problem? What have you done in your life? Where have you worked? What experience do you have? What hobbies do you have? I still remember the conversation I had with Laura Fitton. She was a founder of a company called 140, which was back in the day, I think it was 2008, 2009, the app store for Twitter. And when you think about unfair advantages, here's a person that not only had a huge following on Twitter, but she owned 140.com, which is a pretty amazing domain. She just finished writing the book, Twitter for Dummies, so super deep domain knowledge and huge audience and reach. And when you ask yourself, who better in the world, somebody more passionate than Laura or more domain experience, you couldn't have found anybody to execute on that problem. And that's why a couple years later, they got acquired by HubSpot. So I share that with you guys because I really think that you need to ask yourself, what have you done and why are you the right person to solve this problem? And then the third thing, if you get through those first 2 filters, the third is, what are you most passionate about? I know we talk about passion, but here's why. When you think about projects, the one, Steve Jobs said this best. He says, it's not about passion just because you want to be excited about going to work, but it's about passion because when things just seem like they're not going to work out, when the whole world is against you, when every idea seems to fail, it's the ones that are most passionate about the idea that are going to pursue it, that are going to persist, and those are the ones that are going to have success. It's almost like, are you crazy? Are you a little insane? Because from the outside world, from normal people, your pursuit looks a little crazy. But for me, the reason why it's important to have that is because it should energize you. If you have 3 different projects, one's kind of like a really great idea, but you're not really passionate about it. The other one, maybe on the outside, it doesn't look like a great idea, but for you and your alignment and your vision and what you want to do in the world, it is the one that gets you energized and excited and jumping out of bed in the morning. That's the one you're going to want to follow. So those are the 3 areas. The what trend, why now? What domain expertise you have, why you? Or what are you most passionate about, or which one gets you most energized? Those are my 3 strategies for choosing what projects to pursue. Hope you found that useful. Please like this video and leave a comment below and let me know what project's exciting you right now. I'd love to hear from you guys below in the comments. I want to challenge you all to live a bigger life and a bigger business, and I'll see you guys next Monday.